Warning, this show contains strong language and topics that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised.
Halloween, a night of fear, torment, and suspense.
Spooky! Oh, Jesus!
But until then,
we'll do a podcast about wrestling.
Oh, jeez, this is stupid.
Suplah in a cell. If you don't find us, we'll find you.
Well, alright, we won't actually, find you, but if you don't show up, we'll be sad, and it's just not worth dealing with.
I'll be there!
Hello, Suplah City, and welcome to another edition of the Suplah. I am Andy Kwan, and with me, as always, is Alberto.
Good to be here. How is life at home without one Liam Dunn in your abode?
It's very quiet.
Very quiet?
Very quiet.
There's no
we
moron
don't
yelling,
see-
"Oh, Enzo Harambe."
Yeah, we don't hear, "Ooh, Harambe!" Like, we don't hear that anymore.
Good.
Yeah, that's basically it.
There's no one to yell at you when you block the toilet.
I didn't block the toilet is fixed now, alright? I didn't block it. I peed in it, and then it wouldn't flush. No
So
more
you
problem.
blocked the toilet.
How can you block the toilet with a liquid?
You did it, somehow. You tell me.
Unless I have some kind of stones that I didn't notice, which I don't, by the way. That didn't happen.
That's disgusting. So,
Indeed.
I know that Liam isn't here,
Yes.
and I know that riddles are very much his thing.
I have a pen.
But here's the difference between me and Liam, Andy.
Yes.
Well, it's not that I want to see you succeed,
Okay.
it's that I want to see Liam fail.
Yes! Liam failing is the best option.
So, with that in mind,
Okay.
I'm going to try and make it my mission to help you with your riddle streak before the end of the year.
Oh, wonderful. Let's do that. I need to
Provided
find a
you
piece
don't
of
annoy
paper.
me to the point where I'm like, no, fuck you, you're on your own.
No, okay, I'll try my best, though.
Which is entirely possible, knowing what we're going to talk about.
Possible.
Okay then, so, let's get the riddle up.
I need to get a bit of paper.
So the streak is now up to, I believe, an even 100 and 107.
Oh, by the way, I'm on a milestone for the other one.
We'll talk about the other one later, we're talking about this one now.
Okay, let's do that.
So, with this in mind, you have to get 8 riddles correct before the Christmas special.
What, by the Christmas special? I thought by, the end of year awards or something.
Nope,
Oh, what the fuck?
because we go on our Christmas break, and during that, the new year rolls around, and before the year ends, you have to get to 108 in the win column.
What am I on now? 101.
Simply one more than your loss record. You're currently on 100 and 107.
Oh, so I just got to get 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
It may seem
it.
easy, but bearing in mind, the streak is already at 107 in the loss column.
It's fine.
In fact, the only way he ever got to 100 in the win column in the first place is because of bets around a simulated video game, of which he had no mental control over.
I love Derek. Derek is the greatest character.
Debatable, but okay. So,
Derek is...
with this in mind, I'm about to give you a new riddle. Are you ready?
Oh, yes!
Okay, so,
Do this. Pumped.
what belongs to you, but others use it more than you do?
Okay.
What is
Okay.
something that belongs to you? You have it, it is yours. But other people, your friends, your family, use it more than you yourself do. Can't get any hints,
Okay.
so it's a one and done.
Okay.
You must use this time wisely. You must talk so that the audience does not get bored of me.
Okay, so what's the hint?
I just said you do not get any hints, Andrew.
Oh, I thought you said I do get a hint.
No, you misheard me in a very critical error way.
Okay.
When I
So-
say one and done, I do not mean one hint and one done. I mean one and one done.
So I've got one shot at this.
Yeah.
Fuck! I thought you said you were gonna help me.
I am. This is a very simple riddle.
Okay.
And there's
So-
no double or nothing, so there's no add 60 points to the last column. This is just 1 point in
Okay.
the air here.
So I use it,
Yeah,
but others use it more than I do.
yeah. You need to think outside the Andy box. Which I know is very hard for you, considering how your box is the size of, well, a pea.
Okay, so can I talk about what I'm thinking? But I'll say final answer, and then that will be my final answer.
Yes, Andy, let's go
Okay.
with that.
Alright, so I'm thinking time, because
Mm.
it belongs to me, but people use my time probably more than what I do.
Nope. And I'm not just gonna let you cycle through every single thought and be like yes or no. I'm just gonna say that time is not the right answer. That's the only thing I'm gonna say to help you.
Fuck, okay. Something that belongs to me.
For those in the comments section, you may want to scroll down and see that M. Gunter has put in the time to skip a riddle, just in case.
Use it more than I do. Other people use it more than I do.
Yeah?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, I've changed my mind. Do you want one hint?
Yes, please.
It is something that people say. And if anything, that should be the tipping point for you. That should be the moment where you get it. The fact that you are still silent after about 5 seconds shows that maybe we're in uncharted territory.
Oh, okay, so people say it more than I do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So something that I say that people say more.
Yeah, and it belongs to you. It is yours. We're waiting.
Oh god, there's so much pressure, I can't cope.
In this scenario, Liam would be the devil on his shoulder, I am the angel on his shoulder, but in the actual scenario, I'm, in fact, not really an angel. I'm still taunting him with his process. I'm just helping him a bit more than the devil on the other side would do.
It belongs to you, but says it more than I do.
Yes, come on, chop chop.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. And
You honestly don't know. Are you ready to accept another lost point?
No, because how many weeks have we got left?
You look at a fucking calendar and tell me. I've got no time to look at
God,
calendars. I'm
what
a busy
day are we-
man.
What day are we doing this thing?
What?
What day are we doing the Christmas thing?
How the fuck should I know, Andy? I
Okay,
haven't planned that
1,
far in
2.
advance. What do I look like, the fucking mailman?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
You should probably spend less time counting weeks and counting how much time you have left on this riddle.
Guess I've got 9 weeks to get it right.
Spare the audience, we have a minute left starting
Okay.
now.
Something that belongs to me. I fucking hate riddles. They're shit.
Why do you think we do this in the first place?
Something that belongs to me. I don't fucking know.
Not long left, Andy.
They say it more. They use it more than I do.
Yeah? Come on, you're so close. You've nearly got it. I think. Oh no, I'm not in your head. Anything. Fire off ideas as to what it could be. You don't have long left. You have about 15 seconds left.
Okay, love, maybe.
Nope.
Compassion.
Nope.
Sight.
No. What?
Something that belongs to me. I don't know.
5 seconds.
Air.
No. It belongs to everybody, Andy.
And
And we're done! I'm sorry, Andy. You have another lost point added to your
No,
lost
I'll
column.
just say something. I'll just say something, and then if it's wrong, it's wrong.
Alright. What is your final answer, Andy? That's not a word, Andy. I'm gonna need a word for your final answer. We haven't got all day,
I don't
Mr.
know.
Kwan.
I don't fucking know.
So do you give up?
I don't want to give up.
You're gonna have to if you don't have a fucking answer, my friend.
Something that belongs to me.
What is it? Tell me! Tell me! Tell me what it is! Tell me! What is it?
personal space?
You tried, but no. I don't think other people use your personal space more than you do. Unless you're in some kind of weird society where that's a regularity, but it's not in normal society. So, unfortunately, you have a lost point. Add it to the scoreboard.
So what was it?
The answer. What belongs to you, but others use it more than you do, it is, in fact, your name. Other people say your own name more than you say it yourself.
Fuck! Just fucking... God damn it! Of course it's my own fucking name! Fuck!
I don't know what to tell you, Andy. You were so close, well, you weren't really, but it's good to give assurance to you. You can do it. I think.
Can't do this!
Well-
I can't! It's now impossible! It's now statistically impossible for me to get this. There's
With
not
that
enough
attitude.
weeks.
That's your own problem, really, isn't it, Andy? You know, you could have gotten some right at the start of the year when you had the chance, but you didn't. Anyway, now that we've moved on from that unpleasantness, it is now time to talk about the news this week. Andy, what the fuck happened this week in wrestling? Tell me. Tell me.
Bill Goldberg came back. That's what he did.
You did.
Billy William Goldberg came back on Raw. And he came out, did the standing in the pyro thing, went, "Ah!" and then fucking did his punchy, kicky things like a 50-year-old man would do, and did a promo. Sam, what do you think? Whilst I pick up all this paper I thrown on the floor.
Brilliant. Fantastic. I thought it was fucking awesome. Being a man that only started watching wrestling in 2007, I, of course, clearly missed the Goldberg boat entirely. I missed the gold boat entirely. But
The gold boat.
Yeah.
Is that what you're calling it?
it is. But looking back on the WCW days when he was beating about 160 people, undefeated, and he won the US title, and then he lost to Kevin Nash at the end because WCW. I thought that he was one of the best superstars ever. One of the most entertaining, at the very least. Wrestling ability not being a factor here. As a character, as a performer, Goldberg, I feel, is up there with the best. And then he came to WWE. Oh boy, did it not work. Now, you know all about that because you, in fact, have it on a disc, Andy, as we discovered last week.
Yes, I haven't seen that disc. I don't really want to.
Because it was thrown into the abyss, never to be seen again.
Yeah, it's gone.
Forever gone. But, yeah, no, Goldberg coming back, I thought it was fucking awesome. I've always been a fan of his entrance. His entrance with the camera backstage, incredible. His pyro, fucking awesome. Dumb punches and kicks, awesome. The promo he cut in the ring was very good.
Yeah, here's the thing about Goldberg.
Mm.
Billy has never really been known for being a promo guy. Because in WCW, literally, all he did was have minute matches, if that, for the longest period of time. Like, he would run in, smash, jackhammer, done. And that's all they would do. And it wasn't until later on in WCW he would start talking, and even then he wasn't the greatest. And then Vince has this obsession, as we have said before, of people talking. So when he was doing his WWE run, he would talk, and it kind of ruined it because he couldn't really talk, or scripts are just not his thing. Which is fair enough. What happened with this promo was, I'm guessing, they went, just go out there and do whatever the hell you want. And you can tell because this promo was fucking great. I think he was genuinely overwhelmed by the idea that the crowd, like, remembered him. That makes sense. And those Goldberg chants were fucking loud. Unless they're piped in. Because that's what
No, they
WCW
wouldn't
used
pipe
to do.
those in.
No. So, it helps the crowd were awesome that night. Yeah, It was all around great, and it was very strange, and it's almost humanized Goldberg. And if somebody told me that Goldberg would be like, I miss being a superhero for kids and traveling and all this shit, I'd be like, what are you doing, Goldberg? Just run someone the fuck over and jackhammer him. What are you doing? Like, I'd be like, that's stupid. But if you actually go see it, it's really good. And it's almost created like this element for Bill that it's not like he's just a fucking machine. He is a human being, which is really weird in a good way. Which is something that I don't think has ever really been touched on before with Bill. It's just been crash, smash, jackhammer, done.
Being a new recipient of the Goldberg hype train, like it's just run me the fuck over in recent weeks. People are now all of a sudden hyped for his eventual match with Brock Lesnar, be it a Survivor Series or whenever the hell they decide it's going to happen. Probably Survivor Series at this point, but the point being, everyone is somehow forgetting about the fact that they had a match back at WrestleMania. And everyone fucking hated it.
Oh, it was bad. It was bad for multiple reasons.
Multiple reasons.
Those who are new and don't know, what happened was, Rocky Lesnar was about to leave the WWE and go off and do his own thing. I think he wanted to be in the NFL originally. I think he was in the NFL for like one season, but he was like a reserve or something, and he just never got called up.
I believe that's
and
right.
Goldberg's contract was about to run out as well. So you had a match at WrestleMania between two people who were leaving the company, and you're in New York because this was WrestleMania 20, and that's like the smarkiest crowd you could ever have.
Bearing in mind the special guest referee was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
So I think basically what ended up happening was, all right, Bill's going, Brock's going, let's just put Austin over.
Yeah.
And it basically, the match was crap. They had no chemistry at all, and they just didn't care. You could tell they didn't give a damn.
No.
Because it's like, well, we're going. This time in 24 hours, we're gone.
Yeah. It's like the last lesson you have in school before the summer holidays. It's like, you don't have to do fuck all here. Just draw on the paper and then leave. That's all you need to do.
We'll put on Shrek.
Right.
And
can you imagine? They're in the ring. It's the last day of school for them, technically. And then Steve Austin's like, now we're gonna put on Shrek! And they just watch a movie in the middle of WrestleMania.
That would have been better than what they did.
Probably. I would say the Shrek movie is better than the Goldberg Brock Lesnar match from WrestleMania 20.
Yeah, that match is pretty...
You were in Shrek.
Which one am I?
The short one, Andy.
The donkey.
The man! Lord Farquaad.
Oh, yes, I am Lord Farquaad.
Fucking hell, I say the short one, he thinks the donkey.
No one ever Riddles Street.
Jesus Christ. But, yeah, no, Brocky Walkie vs. Billy Willie wasn't a great match the first time round. And that was, how many years ago now?
At least 12.
At least 12. So, I think this future match we're going to have could be better. And I know Brock as a performer has been getting a ton of flack lately, and deservedly so, in my opinion.
Here's the thing. Do not expect a clinic.
No. This isn't going to be an instant classic. This isn't going to be fucking Cedric Alexander vs. Kota Ibushi, for fuck's sake. This is going to be Lesnar Goldberg round 2. This is going to be part-timer versus part-timer, exhibition match, purely for nostalgia. That's all it's going to be. There's going to be a couple of cool spots. Maybe, of course Lesnar's going to fucking win, because they made a point out of Lesnar winning this time, because if you look back at Brock Lesnar's career, he's always avenged every single loss he's taken. Except for Goldberg. Because Goldberg beat him at WrestleMania 20. Never got the chance to beat him back. Now I think that's going to happen.
Now you get your chance.
Yep, because, believe it or not, Lesnar has beaten everybody that's beaten him in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is, as well, is that if Bill is just doing a one-time thing, like I know that historically my stance on part-timers is they're bad, they shouldn't be there, go away.
Right.
Here's the thing.
That's your stance on some full-timers, Andy.
Some, yes. But my stance on this is I don't want people yelling, "He's a hypocrite! He's a hypocrite!" But, you know.
No, now that you've acknowledged it, there will be a less bit of backlash, I think.
Yes. This isn't so bad. Because
Why?
he said this is a one-time thing. And it's not like he's going for a title. It's not like he's on SmackDown and he's taking up a 2-hour show. He's probably going to be on Raw, which needs more people. And I'm an advocate now of not just calling up people from NXT if they're not ready, just because you want to fill up 3 hours. If you really want 3 hours, then fine. Bring back Bill Goldberg for one time. Like a one-time deal. And because it's a one-time deal, it's not the worst thing in the entire world. Because it's just one match.
It's
That's
just
it.
one. As he said in his
It's
promo, Brock Lesnar, not only are you next, you are last.
And that's fine. And if it is at Hell in a Cell, if it makes like his, okay, I'm gonna get a lot of flack for saying this stuff.
Go. We love giving you flack, Andy. That's what this show is
Yay.
built on.
Tumblr's gonna love me.
Oh, they already
Now-
do.
Okay, so Hell in a Cell is gonna be the first time that 2 women are going to be inside Hell in a Cell, which is
This is something we need to discuss.
great, fantastic stuff. Problem is, the casual fan or the person that used to watch it is not going to care. And it's sad, but true. By having Goldberg come back, like, I received text messages of people saying, "Holy shit, Goldberg is back." And this is from people who do not watch wrestling anymore, who recognize Goldberg, and they're going to watch the pay-per-view for Goldberg, but then they're going to see Kevin Owens, they're going to see Sasha Banks and Charlotte inside of Hell in a Cell, they're going to see all this new talent. So, if anything, if it puts more eyes on the product, and helps fucking people get to know these new characters, who fucking cares? As long as they're not winning championships, and they're used sparingly like this, what's the problem?
Just wait 2 months and his stance will again change.
Well, this is what I guarantee will happen now. Because Denver was such a great crowd, they're going to turn around and go, "Bill, do you want to stay for another 6 more months and win the WWE title?" And everyone's going, no. This is fine as it is. Just one and done. Go away.
Remember
This
that
is Goldberg's
time?
one night stand.
Remember
It's
that time when Sting came back and everyone was convinced he was going to win the WWE title?
over. La, 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 la.
Remember that time when Kane fought Seth Rollins and everyone thought Kane was going to win the belt?
Yeah.
Part-timers, if they are over a certain age, if they're not Brock Lesnar, they're not going to win the fucking belt. You're not going to get Kevin Owens versus Goldberg, right? As much as that would be a cool thing to see, like dream matches ahoy, not going to happen. And besides, you're next and you're last. This isn't another twice-in-a-lifetime type deal, right?
I hope.
I honestly believe this will be Goldberg's last match, and what a way to go.
Yeah,
Just give it a good build.
And
Give it a
puts
long
more eye-
build. Don't put it at Hell in a
puts more eyes
Cell.
on the product. But
It
more
does.
people are watching this. So what is the issue? Raw is getting like some of its worst ratings in history.
hmm
Why not do something like this?
And to be fair, Bill Goldberg did in fact bump up the ratings.
So
That's what you do when you advertise someone a week in advance and not have them surprise return.
yeah, amazing, isn't it?
I know, right? It's amazing what promoting will do for a promotion. Who would have fucking thought, right? But unless you have anything else to say about Billy Goldberg,
No, it was really good.
it was really awesome. I
And-
thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm glad that they humanized him a bit more. So yeah,
Mm.
we'll
Yeah.
see what Brock Lesnar has to say.
Yeah, probably nothing. Probably be Paul doing everything all the time, forever, like always. But
Am I the only person getting sick of Brock?
no.
Like fuck. I mean,
Everyone fucking hates Brock now. Everyone's like, oh, he's lazy, he's a piece of shit, he's a fucking asshole. It's like, what else is new? He's always been that way.
All he does is suplex people.
Just because he beat up Cena that one time, that somehow gave him a free pass for about a year until everyone got sick of his bullshit. It's like the ham sandwich analogy that I gave a couple of weeks ago. You remember that, Andy?
I remember. You keep eating ham, you get sick of ham.
Yeah. And then he goes to Dana White's house.
Oh shit, I've had no lunch.
Oh fuck, we'll have to worry about that later. Have a ham sandwich. Don't have 10 of them though. Get some
Do I have
prosciutto
any
in there.
ham?
I don't know, Andy, let's not talk about your fridge and let's instead talk about the women. Maybe not headline in a cell. Because Mick Foley's a fucking asshole, right? Let's tell the whole story here, okay? So,
Okay.
Sasha Banks versus Charlotte has been a rivalry that has been happening for a couple of months now.
Right.
It's been storied. It's been passionate. It's been hard-driven.
There's been a connection.
Or has it? Because this is the main difference between NXT and the main roster. And of course there are several different factors we could put in here, but the main point is, in NXT, you could argue, things happen more naturally. On Raw, SmackDown, they don't. They are written to happen. They are contrived. Let's take, to example, Sasha Banks versus Bayley. Iron Man match. Headlines, NXT TakeOver, I believe it was Rival. Respect. Something like that. It was one of those. It was a TakeOver event, and it headlined. And Triple H said to the both of them, we're not giving you the main event. You are the main event. And that rang true. Because their story in NXT was crafted to the point where it was so captivating that everyone thought that they deserved to have the main event, and so they were the main event. They were the last match on the card because that's what a main event means, Mick Foley. They were the last match on the card, and it was amazing. I mean, the match itself wasn't as good as their Brooklyn match from a previous TakeOver, but it was still an achievement. And now, we have Charlotte versus Sasha Banks in a very weirdly constructed feud where the belt has swapped many times for no reason. Right. And now they're being put into Hell in a Cell because they are women. Yeah. Not because the feud demands it. It's not like, hey, the feud they've had so far warrants an addition of a Hell in a Cell structure. If you listen to Sasha Banks' promos, you will... It's the same old shit at this point. She cuts awful promos as a babyface. She's like, blah, blah, I'm the boss, blah, blah, I've dreamed of this since I was a little girl, blah, blah, women, blah, 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 legit boss. That's all she fucking does. Bearing in mind she's on the verge of tears every time, and the crowd always chant, you deserve it. It's like,
you know what they actually deserve? A feud that warrants a Hell in a Cell.
Right. They're doing this to force history. That's the main problem I have with this entire thing, is that they're not giving Charlotte and Banks the Hell in a Cell because the feud warrants it. They've given it to them just to force history. And yes, you could argue they could do some cool spots, like Charlotte spearing Sasha through the cell wall, or some shit like that, even though Vince would probably do his nut and say that someone's gonna die, Phil. I don't think that
Who
this
is
feud...
Phil?
I know, right?
Who is
the fuck's
Phil?
Phil Mitchell from EastEnders, right? So, you could argue that this feud doesn't actually need Hell in a Cell, they're just doing it for the sake of doing it. And it's the most forced thing, it's the most lame thing I think I've ever seen, and I can't be fucked to get involved with it. I mean, yes, give the women as much opportunities as the men, but you have to emphasize it in the same way. Bearing in mind you have 3 Hell in a Cell matches on this card, right? You have Banks vs. Charlotte. You have Rollins vs. Owens. And you also have Reigns vs. Rusev. Let's look at Reigns vs. Rusev for a sec, right? Reigns vs. Rusev in a Hell in a Cell, or better yet, any Hell in a Cell match in the past, Edge vs. Undertaker, Randy Orton vs. John Cena, anything like that, those are the 2 that I remember off the top of my head, sue me. They were built as punishment. They were built as the last thing you would ever want to be in. They were built as hell in a cell. And now the women want to be in there?
It's
Why?
not really hell anymore.
why would you want to be in a structure that changed Mick Foley's life forever? And granted, they're not going to do the same spots as that, God forbid.
The counter argument to that is that, okay, that's true, but if you have a pay-per-view every year called Hell in a Cell, and you know that there's going to be a Hell in a Cell, that kind of devalues the Hell in a Cell as it is. So,
I mean,
it's already
yes,
devalued, so why does that really...
but it's still the same this year. They're treating all of the male rivalries as Hell in a Cell being a bad thing, a bad punishment, something you would never want to be in. And now Mick Foley has given the women this punishment, this bad thing no one would ever want to be in. How is Mick Foley not the bad guy here?
It would have made more sense for one of them, like Sasha or Charlotte, going, I want to destroy the other one. Please, for fuck's sake, give me a Hell in a Cell. Just give me a fucking... If they want it, that's how they should want it. Not like, I'm a woman! Like, no, that's not...
I'm a woman and we're being forced to make history. Put us in Hell in a Cell.
It's not like when Ronda Rousey debuted in UFC. It was like, I want to fight in UFC. They went, you've earned this. You're fighting in the UFC now.
Right.
It's not... She didn't go, I want to fight. Or she probably did want to fight, but Dana gave her the fucking opportunity to do it.
She's like, I want to fight because I'm a woman.
No, I want to fight because I want to fight. That's the fucking thing. I mean, good for them, but it's sometimes... It's just like... It's like a PR thing. It's not... There's no substance to it. It's just...
It's this manufactured women's revolution bullshit that we've been dealing with for a while now. And I'm not saying that the women shouldn't have the same opportunities as the men. I'm all for that. What I'm saying is, don't force it. Don't make it contrived. Make it natural with the story.
Don't force it or half-ass it. Like...
No.
This is half-assed, because they haven't given them a feud that warrants a Hell in a Cell, so why don't you just give them a fucking decent feud?
I mean, Reigns and Rusev, that's a feud that warrants it, almost. You could barely argue it. It barely passes the bare minimum, right?
I can't believe I'm still saying this. Book your women like you book your men.
Yeah. Exactly.
Equally!
That's all it takes.
Then I wouldn't have
That's
a
all
problem.
It takes.
That's it, just book them the same.
That's all it is.
It's not difficult.
No.
But I still feel there's some kind of weird quasi-difference. It's like, just, okay, do you want equality or do you not want equality? You can't have a half-assed thing. It's yes or no.
Yeah.
Red or blue. That's it. You've got nothing else. Just choose and run with it.
Here's the annoying thing about all this.
Then go for it. God.
Here's the annoying thing about all this, right? Mick Foley, right? Raw GM. Very active on social media to the annoyance of everybody. He went on his Facebook and said, hey guys, Sasha vs. Charlotte is gonna main event Hell in a Cell. And everyone immediately loses their shit, because it will be the first time, not only that women are in Hell in a Cell, as we've already discussed, but it'll be the first time that women are main eventing a main pay-per-view roster. It's like, whoa, this is amazing, this is big news, we're finally on the cusp of change.
See, then that would be fine, because that's okay, isn't it? Yeah, that'd be alright.
Fast forward a little bit later, and Mick Foley says, actually, it may or may not be the last match on the card, but it's still one of the main events. It's like, Mick Foley, you should know better than anybody that the main event of a pay-per-view is the last match on the card. It's not the penultimate match. It's not the match halfway through the card. It's not the opening match, SmackDown. It's the last match on the fucking card.
Here's the
thing. Main event of Hell in a Cell is most likely going to be Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins for the Universal title at Hell in a Cell, because that's Raw's main belt. And yes, you could say that the women need the main event, but they don't. The feud doesn't warrant it. Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens, that warrants the last match on the card. That's what people are going to be seeing there. Fucking...
But the problem is, why did he say that and not think, I should probably check this?
Because he's an idiot. He's dumb. He didn't think. He did a U. He announced something before it was confirmed and then had to put his foot in his mouth and go back and say, I might have been telling Porky's guys. It's like, dude, maybe a break from social media is best for you. But yes, that is the Hell in a Cell main event status, and before we continue to our slightly less talked about news, let's have a commercial break.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Paige and Alberto Del Rio are now engaged? What? Okay, so, here's a timeline, Andy. I love giving you timelines because it really emphasizes the ridiculousness of the situation, and before anyone says anything, I can hear Liam say, I don't care about their personal lives. I don't care. Okay. It's entertaining. It's just another form of entertainment. Let people enjoy it if they want to enjoy it.
And to be fair, Paige puts all of her stuff on Instagram.
She puts all of her things on fucking Instagram and Facebook, and all of her family does, and it's all fucking everywhere. It's hard to not talk about it, okay? Let's go right in. So, May of this year, Paige and Del Rio are rumored to be a couple. Everyone, including me, says, isn't Del Rio married? Nobody answers that question. Fast forward a couple of months to say, oh my god, Alberto Del Rio is still married, and I say, I knew it!
Yep.
Nobody batted an eye during it, but now everyone's like, oh, he's married, he has 2 kids, and it's like, did you not know this before in May? Because I did. I looked at his Wikipedia page and it said that he was married and had 2 kids, but nobody elected to heed that knowledge, and instead thought, this is weird, he's old enough to be her dad, which he is, I think. I think there's like a 20-year age gap or something. Let's actually look this up.
I thought you said he is her dad. I'm like,
no, it would be weird if he was actually her puppy, but Paige has since gotten the word Pappy tattooed onto her finger. Okay, that's fine. She also got Alberto tattooed under her boob. On her ribs. To the side.
I thought you meant like...
Kind of like where AJ has his tattoos on his torso. It's that same sort of area, right?
Okay.
So, they started dating in May. June, July, August, September. We're now in October.
Yes.
That's 5 months.
Oh boy.
5 months. Let's run this down. Let's do a tale of a tape here, okay? Here's a tale of a tape graphic now. So, Paige and Del Rio. 5 months. 2 tattoos. An engagement. On the other side of the tape, Sam and Ellie. 3 years and 1 month. 0 tattoos, 0 engagements. Does this not ring any alarm bells for anybody?
Hey, do a tale of tape for me.
Alright. Paige and Del Rio.
Yeah.
5 months together.
Yeah.
2 tattoos.
Yeah.
1 engagement.
Yeah.
Andy and his hand.
Not my hand!
Sorry.
No,
sorry.
no! Just Lonely Andy.
Lonely Andy. However long the streak is, put that on there now.
No! Don't put that online! Oh, God.
Do you have any tattoos, Andy?
No.
Do you have any engagements?
Not that I know of.
Does this not ring any alarm bells for anybody?
You mean about me or them?
Both!
Oh, God.
For different reasons.
Okay.
So, not only has this entire thing been a great debacle, not only have lawyers gotten involved, not only has Alberto been fired from WWE, not only have both of them been suspended, Paige suspended twice. Twice! The only woman in history to do so. That's not forcing history, that's history happening organically, ladies and gentlemen. Take a lesson, Hell in a Cell bookers, right? Not only this, the Paige family, the Beavis Knight dynasty, the UK mafia of Norwich, have been putting on their own personal Facebooks this entire drama. Do you know what Paige's dad had to say about all of this?
I think it says the longer lines of, I don't care what anyone says, I don't want that man marrying my daughter.
Pretty much. That's what it says. Now we're going to divert a little bit. let me tell you about a nightmare I had earlier this morning.
Oh, good.
So, for some reason, I had a dream about the Knight family. I had a dream that Paige used to be one of my friends from school. Because we're around the same age, I think. That's reasonable to think. So I'm inside her house. The Knight family house. Which I have access to. So, fuck you, Andy, right? So, so I'm inside the Knight house. In her house. It's her house. Did you know? It's her house.
Oh, I know it's her house.
Yeah. And now Del Rio's her spouse. But
her spouse house.
so I'm in the house and the fucking Knight family come in, namely Paige, brother, mother and dad. None of which I know what they look like, except for mother because I've seen Total Divas, so I know what she looks like. But
okay.
They all come in and I'm not gonna do the entire story, but it essentially ends with Ricky Knight throwing a knife at me and me having to jump down the staircase to get out. And run away before they murder me. Right? This is how I imagine Del Rio's first family meal with them would go.
Oh,
that's how the wedding ceremony will go.
Yeah.
So, not to judge, but fuck it, we are. What the fuck is going on with this shit? And bearing in mind, Total Divas comes back next month, and they say we're gonna see the blossoming of Paige and Del Rio's relationship. What the fuck, Andy?
It's not good on all sides. Like, the fact the family are publicly saying, fuck off Del Rio, basically, and then Paige is like, I love Del Rio, and Del Rio's like, fuck everyone. Like, it's just stop. It's not worth it. Is it worth it? I don't know. I forgot what love is like, so I can't comment.
That's fair enough. I don't know why I'm talking about this with you. It's like talking about rocket science to a lion, right? But the conversation's going to be very one-sided.
Yeah, I if it's bad, like it is now, just stop. Just stop. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth doing. I've known people who have been in relationships for far less things and they've ended them. Just stop. Just stop it.
Bearing in mind, okay, so Andy, I tell you about this wonderful woman. This wonderful woman who's very attractive and very rich, right?
Okay.
But this woman has 2 children. Does that sway you at all?
I wouldn't be a very good dad. So, that would put me off.
How about if I told you that this woman is currently going through a messy divorce? Which hasn't been finalized yet.
I would stay the hell away for a while.
And what if I told you that this woman... There are rumors of her being a fucking shithead and cheating on this spouse.
I would
maybe
definitely not bother.
Definitely not bother, right?
Oh dear. Oh dear. Actually, no, in that situation, it's not my fault. Is it? Is it my fault?
We don't know at this point. I've completely lost track of what analogy I'm trying to make. But basically, Paige got involved with a man who's going through a messy divorce, has 2 kids, and maybe cheated on his wife. What kind of logic is that? And I know, oh, it's all about love. Okay, give it a year when love is no longer a factor. It's gonna be fucking messy. Right?
This isn't... I don't know.
Anyway, this isn't TMZ.
Yeah.
This is SLP. No, I got that wrong. This is... Fuck it, whatever. This is the Suplah.
Yes.
And we are instead going to talk about something that we keep talking about every fucking week because there's always more developments with this story, and we're going to quickly wrap up before we discuss the comments. TNA owns how much money to everybody, Andy?
Lots.
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
So they owe money to the following people.
Following people.
The Fight Network.
Ooh.
That media company that the Ron Harris brothers own.
Aerolux.
That's the one. They owe money to American Express for credit cards. And they owe the Tennessee state. Because they haven't paid taxes. They're fucked. They're done. Goodbye. Dave Meltzer thinks that they're probably going to sign. or not sign for bankruptcy, that's not the right term, file for bankruptcy, because they have no freaking money.
Now, people often say people or companies filing for bankruptcy automatically means the end. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know any lawyers. I know people studying law degrees, but I don't know any lawyers yet. Give it maybe 5 years and I'll know a couple of lawyers, but still. I don't know any now, and what I know is that if you file for bankruptcy, it doesn't necessarily mean the end of the company. And bearing in mind TNA has already taped everything for the rest of the year. Up until the live Impact special airing from the Hardy compound. Total non-stop deletion, they call it.
That's going to be
where they want the Apocalypto tag match, where Matt Hardy is inviting tag teams from every promotion, the Day of New, the Bucks of Youth, etc., to come to the Hardy compound and fight in a tag match.
Is that going to be
Number
live?
1. I think so.
Holy crap.
That's the idea behind it. It's going to be like Final Deletion and Delete or Decay. No one's going to know what happens beforehand. So, you have this idea that TNA is going to end. I'm confident that somehow and some way the Hardy compound will continue to exist outside of TNA and be its own thing. Who says that they need TNA? TNA needs them at this point.
Yeah, I mean, TNA... Who's going to buy a company that's got millions of... If it was like a couple of 100,000, I don't think... If you were a billionaire, I don't think you'd care.
No.
But because it's like millions, no one's going to buy that, because even if you buy TNA for £1, you're taking on millions of in debt. That's stupid. Like,
About 4 million. If we want to give an accurate number, it's roughly 4 million.
4 million. Fantastic. So just stop. And the issue, just stop. Just stop. Just stop it. Just stop it. Just stop. Just stop it. Just stop. Just stop. Stop existing. Like, it's a joke now. Like, they can't come back from this. Even if WWE bought them out, they've lost 4 million. So they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
No one. I don't know
They'd
who
rather
could buy
lose
that.
4 million their own way.
I think if I was WWE, and I think this is what they've done, is they've waited it out, because they've found out that they probably found out before anyone else did that they owe all this amount of money, and they're like, fuck that, we're not paying 4 million essentially for a tape library. Fuck that. What we'll do is we'll let the company die, and then we'll buy the tape library off whoever owns it. Because at this point, I've heard the Harris brothers own part of it. It's just a mess. So
They
they're
have
like,
in
we'll
fact
just
sold
buy-
off some of the tape library to some kind of media company. It's not Arrowlux, but it does begin with an A. Might be Advent, something like that. I don't know. But they've sold off some of the tape library to someone that isn't WWE.
So they don't even own. So they don't even. Okay, so let's say TNA somehow gets through this, which is not going to happen. Let's say they get through this. So they don't even own their own, like, essentially their own history, basically. They can't go back. And is that right?
I would say. Basically, this might be the end, but if it does end, it'll end with a bang at the Hyde compound, and I look forward to seeing it. Let's move on to the comments, shall we?
Everybody's talking about
I'm just gonna leave that part in.
Can you edit over like, instead of using the sound?
Maybe. Maybe I will.
Wonderful!
Wonderful!
So last week y'all talked about the fact that Billy Corgan is suing TNA.
Yes, that's the other thing as well.
So, a couple of comments here about it. Lindo says, reports say Vince has pulled out from buying the tape library. My question is, how will they hype Asuka vs. Mickie James without her TNA rivalry against Thomas the Tank Engine?
Oh yeah, that happened, didn't it? I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
They
James
could-
Storm
they-
pushed her in front of a train.
They could happily just not use that.
No, I'd love it if they could. Like, this is the comeback
They
story for Mickie James. The last thing we ever saw her do was get pushed in front of a train and now she's made this miraculous recovery to the point where she's going to die by Asuka. I'd love to see that. Yeah?
Yeah, if the WWE, if you get that footage, great. If you can't, just do the footage of fucking Mickey J doing that, and doing the weird, you know, Trish Stratus time. Not licking her vagina. Move on.
Tell 1990 says the following. This TNA situation is like if in 1998 Vince McMahon had a massive row. He had a massive row with and insulting Mike Tyson and Steve Austin in Shoot, and in the shouting match, Mike and Steve just knock Vince out and leave the company. TNA's one hope of helping them creatively and could have potentially saved the company, not necessarily the brand, is now filing a lawsuit against them. Now this could work in their favor if Billy Corgan is suing them to gain more control of the company himself and out of Dixie's hands. But this is such a TNA thing. Even when it goes right, it goes wrong eventually. Yeah, pretty much. From what I understand, Billy Corgan is suing TNA and he filed a restraining order to prevent... The restraining order was a thing you questioned a lot last week, not knowing what it was, but... Details have since come to light that he filed a restraining order to prevent them from selling the company to anybody else or sharing the stakes to anybody else without him knowing. That's what that was for.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm dying. But yeah, I think
great.
he was the last beacon of hope. And I'm not sure if he could have done anything, but he was the last beacon of hope. And,
he was. Him and Matt Hardy were the last things that saved TNA. And even then they couldn't. They're going to show up in WWE 14 years later being like, we tried to save TNA, but we couldn't save TNA. Then we'll have a match at Night of Champions for the world title for no reason.
Yep, that's about right.
Yep. So, Bullet Club vs. The Shield says, we want Keelan.
Alright. Keelan! Can you come here, please? Just say hello.
Hello, bros.
There's Keelan.
There you go. We gave you Keelan. See, we give the people what they want here at the Suplah.
Did a bit. Oh yeah, our boiler's broken.
Beautiful. Now,
Wonderful.
another comment from Bullet Club that says, hey guys, what are your thoughts on the 3 Hell in a Cell matches? I think it is too excessive and is watering down the Hell in a Cell match. Which feud do you think is necessary for the Hell in a Cell match? I think the only feud that is capable of having that match is Sasha vs. Charlotte. Now, we've been over this earlier, and we probably answered a lot of these questions, but watering down? Kind of. I think you generally have 2. 2 Hell in a Cells, and that's it.
I just don't want. I don't want a fucking Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I don't want it. Go away.
You don't need
it.
You don't need it.
It doesn't need a fucking pay-per-view.
Just do the match when it's necessary.
Yeah, you got rid of Elimination Chamber. Get rid of this.
Replace it with Halloween Havoc.
I'm not saying do that. Just come up with something.
Let's do something else. Gimmick pay-per-views don't have much room in the product now. They used to, maybe, but now not really.
Because with the brand split, it doesn't make any sense. So does that mean that SmackDown can't have Hell in a Cells? It's just stupid. Get rid of them already.
And in turn, Raw can't have TLCs. That makes total sense, right?
Oh.
But in regards to feuds that deserve it, I would say... I don't know, it's kind of weird. The main event scene has been kind of iffy. Rollins has been a weird babyface because they didn't do it at the right time. Owens has been okay, but not the best he could be, as we've seen in his NXT days. Rusev versus Roman Reigns is a great feud, at least to me. Does it warrant Hell in a Cell? I don't know if it does. It's very contrived. If I had to give Hell in a Cell to any one of these matches, though, it would be Owens versus Rollins. Or better yet, Reigns versus Rusev. Either one of those.
Yeah, I just wouldn't do a Hell in a Cell for any of these things.
Fair enough. But,
We don't
yeah, no, those are our thoughts. And you can get more of our thoughts when we go live for Suplah in a Cell. We're going to be in a cell, Andy.
Are we going to be in a cell?
We're going to be in a cell at Suplah in a Cell. The same date that Hell in a Cell is on, I believe that is next week. Yeah, it's going to be Sunday the 30th. I won't be there. I know I won't be there. So you've
I'll
got to
be
be
there.
there. He'll be there.
Yeah, I
It'll
love
be
how
fun.
you edit that in every time as if, like, I'm definitely going to be... I didn't know if I was going to be there or not, but now I guess I have to be there. Because you
Yep.
put me in this video right at the end, in some weird distorted shit like... I'm like, fuck, great, I guess I'm there then, aren't I? I have no choice. What happens if I made plans? What if I made plans, What if I made plans?
Then you have to cancel those plans because you have to go inside the cell with Liam.
Well, I didn't make plans, so this is a pointless conversation.
Right. Yeah, we'll be going live at 8 p.m. GMT, 3 p.m. Eastern, at this very location. We'll be talking about Hell in the Cell and everything, even more than we have today. We might have Carmine, we might have Brendan, we probably won't have Keelan, but still, turn up anyway. It'll be fun. And I won't be there.
So, is that it? We done?
Yeah, I believe so. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram. We do photos and videos, episode previews, everything. We're Wrestle Pundit. Visit that for news. And I think that's it. Suplah.com. Everything. Broadcast when it happens, if it happens. Hasn't happened in a while. Probably won't happen again. It'll happen again soon. Maybe. I don't know. It'll be there. MP3 downloads of this show and host biographies.
We'll reboot the broadcast.
We'll reboot it. We'll reboot everything. This is the year of a reboot.
Let's think of something.
What?
Do not delete. Anyway, so I have been Andy Fun.
I've been Sam Brooks.
And we'll see you next week.
Right.
Next time.
There we go.
Or
Next
whatever.
time. Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Da, 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 da.
Please stop that. Please stop that. Not to JP.
Damn it.
No.
Fucking dickhead. Like, no matter where I stand, that fucking thing, fucking poster, Roman Reigns keeps looking at me.